air, gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, fists held high, warriors fight till the night says die. FWE, where battles divine, every broken bone all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE, where battles define, every broken bone all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, as I take a look at the beautiful strip here in LV, we welcome you to the final PLE for Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment in the year 2025. I'm Seth Cole, alongside of the Tri-Wizard Champion, my broadcast colleague Jack Mitchell. Jack, Fallout has arrived. 6 championship matchups here tonight. Last opportunity for individuals here on the FWE roster to head into 2026 with championship gold.
It's a fantastic time here. I'm looking forward to being here in Las Vegas. I've been looking forward to it for a long time, I should say, but we're here. We're inside the arena now. It should be a very fun night.
Absolutely. 6 titles on the line. A rivalry that has been months and months in the making, continuing. It just seems to never end. Might finally reach a conclusion here tonight between the Rockers and the family. And tonight, we crown our very first Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Champion in the women's division. It will be a first-time ever Fatal 4-Way Steel Cage match. But talking about the Cruiserweight division, we kick things off here tonight on the men's side.
That we do. Kyle Matthews won the tournament, if you will. We had a little triple threat tournament on Thanksgiving to determine the #1 contender for Carson Young for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship, and that title will be on the line in our first match here tonight.
Talked about Kyle Matthews, able to advance in the tournament, had to survive not 1 but 2 triple threat matches, was able to defeat Cusco and Hamburglar in the finals. First opportunity for Kyle Matthews, one half of the Thrill Seekers, to hold his very first singles title, actually his first title overall here in FWE.
Definitely, I've been at war with this little duo at times, so it's been interesting history between us, to put it lightly. Obviously, with yours truly going up against his tag team partner Dylan Young later tonight in the main event, but Kyle, an opportunity, as you mentioned, to have championship gold around his waist for the first time here in FWE. We'll see if he takes advantage of the opportunity.
And we talked about this back during that Thanksgiving special of FWE, that didn't matter who was going to be the #1 contender. Obviously, the case it being Kyle Matthews, but with what all 3 of the individuals went through that entire night, there's no way Kyle Matthews comes into tonight's title match at 100%.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
It's ironic enough because this man right here, Carson Young, he had to go through a gauntlet of his own. He went through the little goblet of fire that was set by Harry Potter, who Carson had to challenge 3 different opponents just to get the Cruiserweight title match at Paramount. He was successful in doing that, so a couple of gauntlets for these 2 competitors as of late.
Been through the wars for sure, as you alluded to. Carson Young winning that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship at the Showcase of the Immortals Paramount. First title defense for Carson here at Fallout, and 2 individuals that normally backstage are pretty amiable. Usually a bit of a friendship right there, but here tonight, it's all business, as the championship gold is the difference maker.
It's the mentality you gotta have when you're going up against anybody in a match with stakes like this. As soon as that bell rings, you don't know the other guy.
Carson Gums had since Paramount to be able to rest up from that matchup against Harry Potter. Obviously going to be coming in the freshest of the two individuals here this evening in his first title defense. We'll have to see if this thing goes into the long hours of a matchup, if that's going to favor the champion over the challenger. Let's go down to our ring announcer, Mike Rowe.
Introducing the challenger from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 197 pounds, Kyle Matthews. And his opponent from Denton, Texas, weighing in at 230 pounds, the Global Cruiserweight Champion, the Fireman Carson.
Well, in the men's division, the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship was kind of a late addition into the list of title belts we have here in FWE, but in the last few months, a lot of spotlight has been shined on this title belt, going back to Mortal Kombat as it was defended inside of Elimination Chamber. It was in a marquee match at Paramount, and here tonight, the opening matchup here in our final PLE of 2025.
Kind of a title that I'm staring down a little bit too. I still have a rematch clause for this thing, just a reminder.
You've got a rematch clause. I believe Harry Potter still got a title rematch clause for that as well.
Maybe we need a fatal four-way for this thing later on, just like on the women's side.
It's getting a little congested in number one contenders, isn't it? Both of these two kind of almost equals in terms of what they bring to the table. Very athletic, but also some deceptive power can come into play.
That's for certain, as we've seen it just on display from both of these competitors at times. This is going to be a lot of ground for Kyle to cover.
Oh!
Misses the heat-seeking elbow.
I think he would have hit it, but Carson, a lot of time, as you mentioned, with that distance to be able to have enough wherewithal to get out of the way, and now the champion standing tall. Well, literally standing tall on Kyle Matthews' lower back here. A little showboating for the crowd. Don't think you want to get a little too cocky here in this matchup, though.
I think Kyle's already been lacerated by that kick to the face.
And we talked about what Kyle went through just 1 week ago in that go-home show, that Thanksgiving special. Kyle, I believe, was busted open in both the matchups he took place in, so you had to know that Carson was going to be targeting where that wound area was here in the early going.
Yeah, we talked about it numerous times, the head area really, and he's still targeting him with those kicks to the head. Kyle going to have to really persevere in this one, but he's going to get speared to the outside.
Right out here in front of us, you could just hear the splat of Kyle's lower back hitting the floor here. Oh, and now a back body drop out here as well.
It's a brutal landing outside the ring. You see our referee, Ernest Wright, a Mitters during the 10 count. We'll get back in the ring well before that, though. Again, champion's advantage in this one, so Carson would retain if we didn't have a count out. That's a nice kick to the head, though, from Kyle.
I want to make a point of note here as well. Outside of the ring, impact moves like we saw there from Carson Gum to Kyle Matthews is a massive clothesline in the corner. Normally, if we're inside of the Fantasy Dome, we've got that carpeting out here at ringside. Here tonight, this is almost kind of like a plastic covering on the concrete floor. So there's practically no padding whatsoever if you end up meeting this outside area.
Yeah, it's a brutal landing for sure. It usually is anyway, but it's even worse here tonight.
Kyle's going to go for something up there on the top rope. Changed his mind, called an audible.
Only for Carson to get to his feet. Carson reversing the Irish whip, and there's a elbow to the head into the cover.
Cover in here, right in the corner. Referee Ernest Wright took a little bit of time there. Might have been checking to make sure that Kyle wasn't anywhere near that bottom rope to cause a rope break there. And now back to the outside. Oh boy, we talked about that floor. Carson might be meeting the power bomb. No, instead of the apron and then into the side of the ring.
He met the floor, but that was after his head met the apron there, so
Trifecta of impacts there. Vertical, horizontal, vertical with that drop to the floor. And now Kyle working on the leg region there of Carson Gum. We talked about how these two are deceptively powerful. We saw that on display when Carson ran that goblet of fire you were talking about, especially in his matchup with the powerhouse Hagrid. If Kyle can take away the vertical base, take away the strength, that could put the advantage in the corner of the challenger, who's going to show off a little strength right there.
Kyle doing a great job, but the referee is at a 7 count, so they're going to need to work their way back into the ring
Champion's
if Kyle
advantage.
wants to be able to have an opportunity at the title here. No title change on a count-out victory.
Carson's not moved since he was deposited back inside the ring. Kyle Matthews, misses the right hand. Carson scores one of his own. And there's the power of Carson Gum. Says, you want to bench press me? I can do that too.
Oh, boy.
Dominator! Watch that foot. I was going to say, both feet looked like they were under the bottom rope. Carson aware of that. Going to bring Kyle to the middle of the ring. Is that going to cost him valuable time, though? Into the cover to retain the title. And Kyle kicks out at 2.
Maybe it did cost him just a little bit of time.
You got to think it did.
I mean, it was smart. You know, you got to get your opponent away from the ropes, but have that extra little gasp to regain some air, regain enough wherewithal to kick out. But now Carson has him hoisted in the air again. Big drop into the cover to retain.
Shoulders down and kick out at 2 again by Kyle Matthews. But the further this match goes on, as we touched on, you got to think it favors the champion, who may put Kyle away right there. End of days.
That's it.
Make sure that the shoulders are away from the rope, and Carson Gum will retain the Cruiserweight title tonight.
Here is your winner, and still Cruiserweight Champion, the Fireman, and
Incredible job by Carson Gum. Stays atop the pile in the Cruiserweight division for the men's side. But up next, first time ever that the women's Cruiserweight title, the brand new Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship on the line. 4 women advanced in the tournament. 4 women will be locked inside of a steel cage to claim that title belt for the very first time.
Should be really, really interesting to see who emerges on top on this one. It was supposed to be a ladder match. Instead, we're getting the steel cage. And that's coming up next here on FWE Fallout.
Shadows crawl where the brave ones bled. What's left to hold?
There you see that steel cage suspended above the ring. We'll talk about the stipulations on how to win a steel cage match here in just a few
is
moments.
a fatal 4-way steel cage match, and is for the Women's Cruiserweight Championship. Making her way to the ring from Long Island, New York, the Surfer, Susan Storm.
And in all 4 of the qualifying matchups we had, Jack, we probably called Susan Storm's victory the biggest upset as she took on former 2-time hardcore champion Ariel. Very limited experience inside of the ring, but Susan Storm maybe a show-out matchup there to advance into tonight's Cruiserweight title picture.
I would say so, because Ariel especially has been involved in several brutal match types because she's been in the hardcore title picture, but now this is a match inside of a steel cage, so it's pretty hardcore. I mean, you don't have any weapons, but you can use the cage as a weapon.
And her opponents, first from Jackson, Mississippi, Emily.
Well, Ellie was the very first individual to secure herself a spot in this fatal 4-way, eliminating Cheetah in their matchup. And you and I think we talked about this last week or a couple of weeks ago, where being one of the first ones to advance into this matchup here tonight means you have the longest amount of time to be able to rest up. Ellie's coming into this match in terms of the longevity between her qualifying match to tonight. The freshest individual, does that give her an advantage?
Absolutely. You've had all that time to rest up, and you've also had time to scout out who all your opponents are going to be, so you can kind of have a playbook if you're Ellie on who these competitors are.
Ellie, of course, one half of the Anarchists along with Katniss Everdeen, and we talk about those two knowing survival instincts. You're going to need that in a matchup like a steel cage match. See if that puts her in good stead here as Ellie looks for her first title in her career here in Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment.
And from Uganda, Black Archer.
It's been an interesting last few months here for Shuri. We've of course documented that great matchup she had fighting then champion Elizabeth Swann back at Infinity War Games for the FWE Women's World Championship of the Galaxy. She and her teammate Black Widow had a great run as they tried to be the #1 contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships going into Paramount. Came up just short, and Shuri, with a victory over Elastigirl in her qualifying matchup, now has an opportunity at the Women's Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, definitely been all over the title picture for various types of titles as of late, but an opportunity here tonight for Shuri to finally have championship gold around her waist.
And representing Toxic Attraction from the internet, Kimberly.
Well, in terms of who had the last qualifying matchup, that would go to Kim Possible, who was able to take out Jasmine to advance into tonight's Fatal 4-Way. In terms of coming in the freshest, the disadvantage would go to Kim Possible, but I kind of feel like Kim Possible also has a lot more to prove coming into tonight. You go to her tag team partner, Shigo, now a two-time female fighting champion. Kim Possible and Shigo, they've held the tag team titles together, but Kim Possible has never held a singles title here in FWE. Her counterpart has, so I think Kim Possible, a little motivation here tonight to maybe match her tag team partner and hold championship gold as well on the singles side going into New Year.
I think it might also be worth pointing out that Shigo, when she won that female fighting championship inside the Elimination Chamber match at Mortal Kombat, she qualified for that matchup by defeating her tag team partner, Kim Possible. So maybe a little bit of extra motivation for Kim here tonight.
Great point. And there you see it. The brand new Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship. First time ever here in the women's division. And the way that you win it is fairly simple. Pinfall, submission, or escaping the cage, but you brought up the fact that you're not really able to bring a lot of weapons into play here. You can use the steel cage as a weapon. Things are very confined here inside of a steel cage, so there's not a whole lot of room to be able to open up a window to capitalize without somebody noticing you're going for a pinfall or submission.
Absolutely, that's going to add a whole new dimension. I mean, you already have to keep your head on a swivel in a Fatal 4-Way as it stands, but inside the steel cage, I mean, you're basically going to have to make sure all three of your opponents are incapacitated before you go for any kind of pin or submission or escape attempt.
I was going to say, do you think that as we see Susan Storm immediately going up here, do you think that that maybe makes escaping the cage a more viable option than going for a pinfall or submission?
I think so, especially since, you know, you don't necessarily have to climb over the top of the cage to escape. All you have to do, you can ask the referee, Ernest Wright, open the door for me. As there's a shot. Impossible's back going into the cage wire. That's a brutal impact. As I was saying, all you have to do, you can ask Ernest Wright, our referee there, just open that door, let me out, and as long as both feet hit the floor ringside, you're out of the cage.
Shuri squaring off there with Silver Surfer. Susan Storm had Ellie against Kim Possible here. Now just want to point out that Shuri, oh gosh, now Ellie delivered there to the side of this chain link fence. And then, oh my gosh, just got clocked with a super kick to the back of the head. I want to point out that even though both Shuri and Susan Storm came out to similar music, they are both from the Marvel multiverse, but they are not teammates by any stretch of the imagination here. So I don't think you'll necessarily see those two working together.
I don't think you will either, and if you see any kind of alliance in this matchup, it's temporary.
Look at this cover here by Kim Possible, but they're exactly what we were talking about. Ellie no sooner sees the cover, immediately breaks it up. There wasn't even a 1 count.
Like Shuri maybe landed on her head a little bit while she was, or after she made a move trying to break that up. Now a backstabber by Kim Possible. Shuri back up to her feet.
And immediately off them with the face buster there by Ellie. Cover is in, forearm in the face, and didn't even need anybody to break that up. Shuri out before even a count of 1.
Shots from Susan Storm to Ellie. Big knee to the head. She thought about going to the cover for a second, but then let that huge kick. Look at Kim Possible flying all over the place.
Look at this! All 3 women down. Kim's the only one up. That was a perfect scenario, but Ellie with enough fortitude to kick out at 1.
I almost wonder maybe, now that we've seen that in person, I feel like maybe that early opportunity was a better chance for her to escape the cage, because it's still super early on in this match. I mean, people are down, but I don't think anybody's really been worn down for long enough yet to not kick out.
Great point. Now Ellie working on Shuri there. Kicks to the midsection. Kim Possible now with kicks to Susan Storm. Again on the line here. First ever women's cruiserweight champion here in FWE. Winner of this matchup will get that accolade. Nobody will be able to take that away from them. Doesn't matter how long they hold that title for. They will always be able to say they were the first.
Always a good feeling to say that you were the first to do something. I mean, that's part of the reason why I was pushing hard to be the first person in FWE to hold 2 singles titles. They have a sleeper hold locked in by Ellie. Broken up by Shuri.
Fights out of it there with the jawbreaker. We saw Susan Storm delivered the clothesline there to Kim Possible. Immediately goes over to Ellie. You gotta target the one that's up at a vertical base. Cover here by Shuri, and Susan Storm not gonna allow that to happen.
You mentioned the cage, it's confined in there. It can be really difficult to find enough time to go for a pin or submission.
Cover here by Kim Possible. Shuri stunned up against the ropes. Ellie was just getting to her feet, and Susan Storm able to kick out.
I feel like if there was no kick out there, it would have been broken up. Look at that.
Massive uppercut by Ellie. Drops Shuri to the ground. Massive chop as well. And now Ellie's not done.
Well, she might want to keep an eye out, though. Kim Possible interfering with that.
And now Kim Possible looks like she might try to escape the cage. No, instead. Oh, that could have been costly. Kim very, very wise to look down because Ellie had the cover on Susan Storm.
I think that was kind of smart from Ellie. Basically forcing Kim Possible to the side. No, I've got to get off the cage and break this up.
Oh, gosh.
Now, though, met with a huge boot. Oh, Ellie able to counter.
Hands are off, and now you got Shirley and Susan Storm over there in the far corner. Big slam, Shuri. Oh, I thought Shuri might go to the top rope, but instead going for a cover, realizing that Kim Possible was more interested in dealing out punishment to Ellie. Smart there. Cover now by Kim on Ellie, and Shuri's gonna break it up.
Almost looked for a second like Shuri wasn't paying attention, but she's got her head on a swivel.
Guillotined on the top rope is Kim Possible. Forearm, it drops Ellie down to the mat. Whoa! Oh, nice avoidance from the super kick.
Shuri's been on fire in this one so far. Been moving all over the place, keeping her head on a swivel, making sure to pay attention for any pinfalls or submissions.
Oh, look at this.
Speaking
Cover
of which,
in. I think Kim Possible is up on the top turnbuckle. Shuri's not paying attention. Oh, that would have been it. That would have been it. No one was close to break it up.
That was a 2.9.
And now Shuri's up on that top rope there with Kim Possible. Might be looking for the top rope. Poison Rana.
Man.
Now Susan Storm potentially could be getting ready to lock in the PTO. Fans here at FWE Fallout chanting, "This is awesome." This is only our second match of the night. There's still a long ways to go here this evening.
I'm glad to see our crowd is very interested in this one because we've got 5 more matches on the card here tonight. Covers in from Shuri, broken up by Susan Storm, only for her to meet the face buster. Kim went for another kick that Shuri dodged.
Another duck by Shuri. Been really good using her athleticism to get out of situations. There's the press slam. We've seen her do that before. This could be it. Oh, and Ellie was able to see it at the last moment.
Ellie, though, caught in the grip of Susan Storm. That big lariat drops her.
Yeah, just turned her inside out.
Nobody's really thought that much about trying to escape the cage. I mean, the only person you can say really did was Kim Possible, but she quickly had to drop back down when she noticed that there was a pinfall taking place.
Nice float over DDT from Shuri, takes Ellie down. Susan Storm can hyperextend the knee there with a shot like that, and now knee delivered, drives Shuri back into the corner.
Everyone's down and out, going for
look
the
at
cover.
this. Maybe the window that Susan Storm's looking for, and she did it! We didn't think it was possible to have all 3 women down, have enough time to get a pinfall, but Susan Storm did it! And she's going to be the very first women's cruiserweight champion here in FWE!
How about that? First ever women's cruiserweight championship. Congrats to Susan Storm. But up next, tag team action. The men's Disney tag team championships are on the line.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we saw them in interesting fashion win those tag team title belts from the family. And the Mario Brothers, they've yet to hold championship gold here in FWE. This should be an interesting one because I think we kind of touched on this. These 2 particular teams, they're very familiar with the same type of environment, pipes, sewers, what have you. We'll see how it all culminates here as tag team title match is next.
What's left to hold?
Mario and Luigi, we saw them a few months ago make their FWE debut. Biggest win for them was coming out on top in that 4-team tornado-style elimination matchup where they became the #1 contenders here tonight at Fallout, and very motivated. I mean, they swept. Both of them were left standing at the end of the matchup. It was a 2-on-1 advantage they had over last individual, Cole Eastwood, and they were able to run the entire table. Big statement win for them. Can they capitalize tonight now and get championship gold for the very first time in their FWE careers?
I mean, you say it was a big statement win for them. I think it was actually their first win of any capacity here in FWE, so good momentum for the Mario Bros. That should put them in a great mentality heading into this matchup. Mentioned the environments, the familiar environments that these guys are sharing in this matchup. We'll, of course, be visiting more of the Mario Brothers world later this year in FWE, or next year, I should say, as we get closer to Power Up.
Cannot wait for that one. There you see Donatello on the left, Leonardo on the right. 50% of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We saw the other 50% in our last episode of FWE Extra as they took on Hades in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Didn't exactly end the way they wanted it to, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, first time they held championship gold here in FWE when they won those tag team titles in, as I said, kind of interesting way. Cole Eastwood walked out on Michael Norman, and hey, credit to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They capitalized on the situation.
And they did. I mean, I'm sure Michael Norman was pretty surprised when that happened, but I think we were pretty fairly confident that the alliance between the faction now known as the Rockers was going to hold up.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the Men's Superstars Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 346 pounds, the Cleaners. And their opponents at a combined weight of 468 pounds, the Men's Superstars Tag Team Champions, the Orient Express.
It'll be the first title defense for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since winning those title belts. The titles were not on the line at Paramount, as we were basically trying to get everything situated with the fallout of the family. And now they have an opportunity here to continue to make their statement here in FWE. As mentioned, opportunity here for the Mario brothers to hold tag team gold for their very first time. So it looks like it's going to be Donatello squaring off with Mario to begin this thing.
Donatello on the offensive early. Going to target that leg, which is going to be a big deal in this matchup because Mario and Luigi really rely on their jumping maneuvers. So it's going to be something for Mario to contend with if his legs are being targeted often in this matchup.
And so many different tag teams hold these title belts here in FWE. Think of Thor and Hulk, RJ Bishop and Nick Gunther back when they were Vicious and Delicious, Kronk and Cusco.
Documented the family, of course.
Yep, I was just going to mention, Anthony McCurry, Cole Eastwood there of the family, and now the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Only one team has ever held the tag team title belts more than once, and that, of course, was Vicious and Delicious. They held it twice here. As cover in by Leonardo after a big move there on Mario. I thought for a brief moment that maybe Mario's foot was going to be under the ropes, but you saw Leonardo, very smart. He hooked that far leg to make sure that it was not going to be anywhere near the ropes for a break, as now here's Luigi in.
See Luigi already quickly trying to take advantage. Leonardo is down. Mario's going to get out of the ring, which he will. Here's the jump by Luigi into the Hurricane Rana.
Now
Donatello going to get involved.
Yeah, look at this. Donatello is not legal, but it's on the outside, so it's kind of fair game. Bit of a neck breaker there across the knee. Referee beginning that 10 count, champion's advantage. If the Turtles wanted to keep all this to the outside, take a count of victory, they'd be within their right to do so. I don't think that's necessarily within their wheelhouse, though. They appear to be fighting champions. We saw them step up to the former FWE commissioner's call when they took on the family inside of War Games.
Now Luigi's down. Referee's at a 9 count. Luigi's got to get back in the ring.
Oh! Buzzer beater.
Now with a DDT to Leonardo. Leonardo took some time to focus on Mario, but I think Luigi feels like his brother's good enough to re-enter the matchup. Huge kick.
Irish whipped into the corner, follows up with the flying forearm. Oh, and now in the drop zone maybe for that. Yep, leg drop right across the bottom rope as well. So not only do you have the impact of the leg to the back of the head, you have that middle rope into your throat area.
A bit of a rough landing for Mario. I think he might have taken a little bit more out of him than it did Donatello, and he appropriately tags in his brother Luigi now to try and gain some rest. Shots to the head.
Yeah, nothing fancy about those right hands. Oh, just the breathing space he needed to hit that heel kick there. Cover in, and Donatello only gets a 1 count there on Luigi.
I'm surprised by that. Luigi still very much alive in this matchup. Ooh!
Modified pop rocks into the springboard moonsault. Is that going to be enough? No, a kick out at 1 now by Donatello.
Quick kick out. Luigi looking for the spinning head scissors. Oh, he knocks down Donatello. I don't think that's what he meant to do, but it was effective enough.
allowing Donatello to be able to go over and tag in Leonardo. I'm not exactly sure I would have spent time showboating, cut off the ring. I think would have been the smarter thing to do, and now he'll pay for it. A shot there to the lower midsection by Leonardo. Follows it up with a clothesline.
I would have tried to prevent a tag. I don't know if that showboating was necessary, and now Luigi's going to be on the receiving end of some offense from Leonardo.
And you talked about the limited success here for the Mario Brothers. That's a good portion of it as well, is that they like to cater to the crowd. They like to have fun, but you got to be all business when that bell rings here, especially if you're going to hold gold here in FWE.
He might have been lacerated by that forehead being driven into the top turnbuckle now.
Oh man, turtles can fly!
Mario does not like what he sees. That's a huge kick to the top of the head. More shots. Down goes Luigi into the cover.
Series of offense. Is that enough? And Mario is going to break that up. I just thought of something here, and I don't know why it took me this long. Do you think that Mario and Luigi get PTSD whenever they see the shells on the back of the turtles?
That's a fantastic point.
I never even thought about that. Granted, they're not red or green, they're brown, but still, they're shells.
Mario and Luigi have certainly had their experience fighting turtle-like creatures in the past, although I will say those turtles preferred to use their powers for evil. Luigi was able to sneak in a middle rope stunner of some sort.
Gosh, and again, turned inside out with the clothesline. Look at this. Donatello going
run
up to the top, and I don't think he realized that Luigi was getting over there to make the tag to his brother. Oh, what a back fist! Holy cow!
That was insane.
I don't know if turtles have teeth, but I might have caught one.
Quick recovery, though, by Donatello.
Big knee right up under the jaw. And now just a straight takedown and laying in the rights and lefts.
These big palm strikes. Mario is pretty much in the wrong part of town here. Tag is made. Here comes Leonardo. Ooh, Mario, though, quickly grabbing him.
Versus it up. Might be looking for the float up. Bulldog hits it. This time he'll cinch the legs around the head. Hits the airplane scissors spin.
Oh, good reversal by Leonardo, just when it looked like Mario was in full control.
Hold on. Oh my gosh! What a series into the Hurricane Rana, and now drop kicks. Donatello off the apron. This could be an opening here if Mario's able to capitalize on it. Donatello would be nowhere to save his tag team partner.
That whole sequence from Mario made me dizzy, but he's definitely on the offensive here.
Another.
Again to that leg drop. Here comes Luigi.
Leonardo having to use the ropes to get back up to a vertical base. Right for the picking here if Luigi is able to find something to put him away. Oh, he's going for the stomps in the corner. Another reversal. Oh my gosh! Missed the back fisted Leonardo, but the uppercut connected, and Donatello has to break it up.
Leonardo right back to his feet. That was a crazy punch from Luigi. It probably would have been enough to put him away.
Hold the phone. Goomba stomp connects. Do we have new tag team champions? The Mario Brothers have done it!
Here are your winners, Top Leader.
Listen to the crowd here in Las Vegas. These guys are hyped as the Mario Brothers finally achieved tag team gold here in FWE.
Well, you know that at some point the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to get a rematch. I'm ready to start a chant with the crowd here. Run it back, because, man, what a contest between these two. I want to see this again and again and again.
If there's a rematch clause at some point in the future, I'm looking forward to it. But up next, the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy on the line. Poison Ivy has been determined as the #1 contender of these last few weeks on FWE. She takes on Mulan in her first title defense.
Mulan winning that Women's World Championship of the Galaxy back at Paramount. was able to defeat Elizabeth Swann in a 2 out of 3 tables match. She had to utilize the help of Jasmine in the title rematch. But to your point, brand new challenger here in a hot Poison Ivy who won a fatal 4-way, and that's next.
Following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's Universal Championship.
And in the case of Poison Ivy, as she makes her way to the ring here, I mean, listing off the names of people that she had to defeat in that fatal 4-way 1 week ago to get this #1 contendership. Former hardcore champion, 2-time hardcore champion if I'm not mistaken, in Black Widow. Moana, who's been on a hot streak as of late, and the longest reigning former women's world champion, Elizabeth Swann. Poison Ivy has been relatively new here in FWE. We saw her really only make her FWE debut maybe about a month and a half, 2 months ago. But ever since she stepped inside the ring, she has been turning a lot of heads, and tonight, opportunity to take the Women's World Championship.
I mean, you basically just listed off a who's who of competitors there in the women's division overall. So Poison Ivy definitely has a lot of experience under her belt, or a lot of success under her belt, I should say. Not a lot of experience, but so far, so good.
You also saw Poison Ivy pick up a pinfall victory in tag team action that led up to that fatal 4-way #1 contenders match about a week and a half prior over Elizabeth Swann. So, as mentioned, a lot of momentum for Poison Ivy, but Mulan has been able to defend that title successfully here ever since she won it back at Paramount. Of course, holds the accolade as well of being the Women's Royal Rumble winner here in 2025.
We talk quite a lot about how the Royal Rumble can really change your career in FWE, because all it takes is that one win and it immediately puts you in the championship picture. And that was kind of the way that Mulan's career was going so far. She hadn't really found any kind of major success yet, hadn't really found any championship opportunities, but all it took was winning the Royal Rumble, and then she defeated Elizabeth Swann, who had held the title for 162 days in a 2 out of 3 tables match.
But it's funny, though, to your point, because there's been a lot of rumors kind of questioning the credibility of Mulan and whether or not she really feels she can win in a fair fight. Elizabeth Swann brought up some points that, obviously it was looking like it was going to be a one-on-one matchup here. Well, I'll get to those points here in just a minute. We'll go down to our ring announcer, Mike Rome.
Introducing the challenger from parts unknown, Ivy! And her opponent from the People's Republic of China, the Women's Universal Champion, the Asian Nightmare!
So going back to the point I was going to make here, if you go back to Paramount, it was looking like it was just going to be a normal one-on-one matchup between Mulan and Elizabeth Swann. Mulan kind of fired the first shot, put Elizabeth Swann through a table that led to that 2 out of 3 tables match at the Showcase of the Immortals. You then fast forward to the title rematch between Mulan and Elizabeth Swann. She had to utilize the aid of fellow Disney queens Jasmine's entrance music to cause a distraction, allowing her to retain the title. A lot of people are wondering, does Mulan actually think that she can, in a fair one-on-one matchup, keep this title belt around her waist, or does she feel threatened?
We're going to find out right here, though, and Poison Ivy a very formidable contender for her, so it should be quite interesting to see how this matchup ends up going, as Mulan with some early shots.
We usually like to look at stats of previous matchups and everything, and right now not a whole lot to go on in terms of giving any advantage to champion or challenger. So far we've had 1 title retention, Carson Gum, still the Wayfinder Cruiser champion. Just moments ago we have brand new Disney Tag Team Champions on the men's side with the Mario Brothers, and then of course the Fatal 4 we had to crown our inaugural very first Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Champion, which is going to be the Silver Surfer Susan Storm. That was a first ever. That was the title completely on the line with no defending champion going in. So 1-1-1, I guess we could say right now are the stats.
It's a fair way to put it. We'll find out what the odds will be in these matchups as they progress later on tonight. Of course, next up, though, the matchup that we have after this will be the only one on the card tonight where there's no title on the line, just a whole lot of pride.
I mean, it's interesting here. Here's a cover here by Poison Ivy. You kind of go back to our last PLE at Paramount. That was the only match that didn't have a title on the line there, the submission match between Anthony McCurry and Michael Norman. It's been such a big fight feel with what's gone on in the family and now the former members of the family that you don't have to have titles on the line, but it's had just as much of a, I don't know, a gravitas feeling to it as if there was championship gold actually there.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you one thing. This crowd has been buzzing all night long, and I feel like they're still going to be buzzing, even though that matchup isn't going to take place in the arena in front of us. We're going to be watching it on the Titantron because it's a backstage brawl.
Might be the final exclamation point, the final page in this storied history between Michael Norman, Matt McIntyre, Anthony McCurry, and Cole Eastwood. We saw even another page added to that as both teams, the Rockers and the family, were involved in that #1 contenders Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Turmoil matchup where the Mario Brothers were able to advance. Look at this, count out may be coming. Nope. In at a 3 count here by Poison Ivy. Mulan seems to be cutting a bit of corners here and trying to maybe get a count out victory. She's taken it to the outside a couple of times.
I mean, there was a 5 count. It looked like Mulan was not willing to get back inside the ring, but then she, hold that thought, into the cover.
Spinning forearm. She got some momentum there off the ropes as well.
She was inside the ring. Poison Ivy was outside the ring. Our referee was at a 5 count, and then Mulan decided to try to go for a diving attack over the top rope to the outside of the ring. That reset the count, and that's going to reset some. Oh boy, look out. I was going to make a joke. It doesn't matter at this point, though.
Looking for the super kick. No! Blocked by Poison Ivy, who reverses into a DDT.
Great maneuver there by Poison Ivy.
Oh, look at this.
And now we're going to look for the Ivy Vine.
Ivy Vine submission locked in. Nowhere for Mulan to go. If Mulan taps out, we've got a new champion, but oh, wow, that is tremendous core strength right there by the champ.
Both competitors showing why they are deserving of being in this matchup so far, I feel like. There's the big kick to the head.
Cover is in to retain the Women's World Championship and kick out at 2.
Mulan showing a little bit of frustration after that one, but trying to get the crowd.
Is that what you call a little bit?
It was a little bit at first, and then she was really getting expressive there.
Oh, disaster kick off the ropes. Could that be it? Shoulders down and kick out again.
Now you can see even more frustration there. I mean, she's went with all those kicking attacks to the head, neck area, upper body. Poison Ivy's kicked out of everything so far. Oh, that missed.
He's going for a double stomp. Poison Ivy out of the way and now goes back into the Ivy Vine. Center of the ring, nowhere for Mulan to be able to go. Can she fight out of it again? I think maybe Poison Ivy might have released the hold that time. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Going for the swing.
Oh, this is making me so dizzy to watch.
I hope Mulan's not seasick. Cover is in here. Is this going to be enough to be the new champion? Poison Ivy has got the championship. First time in her career.
Here is your winner and new Women's Universal Champion, Ivy.
It begs the question, have we ever seen an individual, male or female, rise through the ranks this quickly in FWE? I don't think we have.
I don't think we have either. We've had 3 new champions determined here tonight in Vegas. This has been a very fun evening here at FWE Fallout. But up next, the only matchup on the card, as we said, with no title on the line, just pride, everything in that sense you want to see here in this matchup here tonight. The Rockers, Anthony McCreary and Cole Eastwood taking on the family, Michael Norman and Matt McIntyre in a backstage brawl.
There's no fanfare nor entrances. We're just going straight to the back as this matchup is ready to kick off.
Here we go.
And this is elimination style as well. You eliminate an individual via pinfall or submission, and we could have situations here, Jack, of 2-on-1.
We very well could. That is a brutal elbow drop
Look at
from
this.
Matt McIntyre.
Immediately
right
going for the cover there on Anthony. Kick out at 1, and I mean, just look at what we've got back here. We've got concrete flooring. We've got staging. We've got pallets. We talk about the outside of the ring here in front of us, how everything hurts. Back here, there is nothing that is soft.
Look at the way that box just got kicked away by Matt. The boxes out here. There's kendo sticks. There's baseball bats. Concrete flooring. Metal grate flooring. I mean, there's a spotlight in the background. Hearing like these metal / steel objects rattling all over the place. I'm just horrified by what can be used here.
Yeah, I think that's a shovel over there.
I think so.
Everything is at these individuals' disposal. Whatever they want to use is all in bounds as Michael Norman just tossing Cole Eastwood off to the side there.
Right might have hit some kind of move. Here's a cover.
Right now, if you're any one of these individuals in this current, like these one-on-ones here, Matt McIntyre versus Anthony, Michael Norman versus Cole Eastwood, you're looking for that one big hit to eliminate one half of the other side. Give yourself a 2-on-1 advantage.
That's going to be the key here.
Oh, gosh.
Went for the, that's painful. He went for the elbow drop and completely missed.
You ever hit your funny bone? I can only imagine what it's like when you hit it on concrete.
That's brutal.
Big
These
kick
people
right up
don't
under
care,
the chin. No, they don't. It's gotten to this point.
If you're unfamiliar with the history, basically what happened was after Michael Norman really seemed to lose all of his momentum as the leader of the faction, Anthony McCreary called his leadership into question. And what happened was Michael ended up putting Anthony through at our announce table during an episode of FWE. And then he basically forced himself, did Michael, into the tag team championship picture. He replaced Anthony McCreary while he was injured, so Cole Eastwood had to step up and defend the titles alongside Michael Norman, even though Michael never actually won the men's tag team titles with him. But what happened during that title matchup against the Ninja Turtles, which we saw lose the titles earlier tonight, Cole Eastwood walked out on Michael Norman. He was willing to sacrifice his position in the family as well, and we ultimately ended up getting a submission match at Paramount between the two that are going at it right now, one-on-one, Michael Norman and Anthony McCreary. And with Michael forcing Anthony to tap out, that took Anthony's spot out of the family, and Cole Eastwood decided to follow his tag team partner.
And of course, we're wondering as well where Matt McIntyre's alliance is laid, and obviously we've gotten that answer. He's staying there with Michael Norman. It's interesting you bring up all that too, because in precursing all of that, you know, we have to document the success that the family had. When Anthony McCreary, Cole Eastwood, and Matt McIntyre all joined Michael Norman, Matt McIntyre eventually became the United States champion. Anthony McCreary and Cole Eastwood, they won the tag team titles. They were successful as a unit inside of War Games, defeating the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, things were going so right for the organization. It just took maybe 1 or 2 moments in what you were talking about there for it all to come crumbling down.
Absolutely. I mean, the success these guys had as a group was so, you know, they were on such a crazy run. I was almost wondering if, I think we were almost surprised actually that this was the matchup that we had at Paramount. There's a huge kick by Anthony into the cover.
Cover here on Michael. Kick out.
We had the matchup between multiple members of the faction. They were fighting against each other at Paramount, our biggest show, instead of a matchup where they should have been as a unit dominating. Oh, that's a huge reverse GTS into the cover.
Be enough to put Michael out of this and make it 2-on-1, and Michael going to kick out. I believe that was at a 1 count. Think about it too. Think about it too. You go back to that #1 contenders match we were talking about for the tag team titles. As here's a cover by Michael on Anthony, who kicks out at 1. Side Russian leg sweep over there from Eastwood to McIntyre. But It was Michael Norman who eliminated Anthony McCurry in that matchup. Cole Eastwood eliminated both Matt McIntyre and Michael Norman. So neither the Rockers nor the family are coming into this PLE fighting for the tag team titles. Instead, they're in this matchup backstage.
Well, as you said, that's just what it's come down to, the war between groups. I'm surprised Michael didn't try to break up that pinfall, but Matt quickly kicked out of it. Think about what Cole Eastwood is thinking here, but he's currently has his shoulders down on the concrete floor, but he'll kick out. But Cole was the man, willing, like I said, willing to throw away, if you will, the tag team championships.
Oh my gosh! Powerbomb on the concrete. Don't bear in mind as well, Cole Eastwood has a one-on-one victory over Michael Norman here in the last couple of weeks. Also, something else we have to bear in mind, we've talked about it all evening when we were talking about that, specifically the Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship match and the Men's Cruiserweight Championship match earlier on this evening. In the opening, we were talking about health and condition going into title matches. Don't forget, Matt McIntyre in just a few short weeks at Saturday Night at Springfield, our first PLE of 2026, he's putting the United States Championship on the line against Ernie the Keebler Elf. One can only imagine what kind of injuries he could sustain in a backstage brawl here tonight that could roll over to that title defense.
That's a fantastic point. I mean, it's going to be brutal if he has to go into that matchup and he's banged up after this match here tonight.
Things are spread out here. Our camera crew can only keep an eye on one matchup at a time. Not exactly sure what's happening over there with Matt McIntyre and Cole Eastwood, but this is kind of where all it's culminated, so I guess kind of that's where the priority should be between Anthony and Michael, as here's the cover off the DDT onto the concrete, and somehow the bloodied Michael Norman is able to kick out at 2.
This was a sight shortly before Paramount, as we saw Cole Eastwood was supposed to have that one-on-one match that you mentioned with Michael Norman. That was supposed to happen before Paramount, but that ended up being where Anthony made his return. Cole basically surprised everybody, substituted Anthony in as he returned from injury, and Michael absolutely took a beating in that matchup. That one punch, he inadvertently hit Matt.
Communication error there, big clothesline by Matt McIntyre. Eastwood down with the Dominator by Michael Norman. Could this be what the family needs to get the 2-on-1 advantage? And Cole Eastwood's been pinned. That means that Anthony has to fight it on alone between Matt McIntyre and Michael Norman.
Good luck. And he's about to eat another powerbomb here.
Oh my gosh. That could be it right there. The family looking to stand tall. Kick one at 1.
I don't believe that. I mean, I was going to talk about how Cole already had been brutalized. He ate that. Some kind of I forget what it was, move was actually landed on it. I think it was some kind
Dominator,
of like a DDT.
I believe.
Oh yeah, it was the Dominator, right? And that's like the head, your gut, your chest, all into the concrete floor. For Anthony, it's been mostly his back, but I mean, it still hurts. And I mean, a 2-on-1 advantage in this is just kind of all the family needs.
Yeah, you're just fighting from behind. If you're Anthony, that's what you need right there. You need to get it to 1-on-1, but now kick to the midsection. Oh, maybe delivering another power bomb here. Oh, right onto the concrete. That's gonna have to do it. Michael into the cover on Anthony, and the family stand tall here tonight at Fallout.
Say what you want about the family, say what you want about their tactics, but they emerged triumphant in this battle. And now, coming up next, a triple threat for the Hardcore Championship.
As if things weren't hardcore enough there in that matchup, now you've got Jessica Shelton, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, all have formally held that Rotten to the Hardcore Championship. Wonder Woman tonight, odds against her as she puts it on the line in a triple threat match.
Shadows crawl where the brave ones bled. What's left to hold?
The following contest is a triple threat match and is for the Women's Hardcore Championship.
Quinn, former holder of the Women's Hardcore Championship, went into Paramount defending that title against Jessica Shelton in that 20-minute Iron Woman match known as Gotham Rules. Lost the title, but here this evening, in effect, her title rematch as she enters herself into what could have easily just been a one-on-one rematch between Jessica Shelton and Wonder Woman, which puts the champion at a huge disadvantage.
It absolutely does. And I mean, there was a time where you and I, Seth, I think both thought that as long as Harley Quinn held onto the hardcore title, we were going to be seeing a whole lot of Gotham Rules matches. Instead, though, she's going to be fighting to get her championship gold back.
And introducing the challenger from Columbia, South Carolina, Jessica Shelton.
Well, it was 2 weeks ago that Harley Quinn picked up a pinfall victory against Wonder Woman. Jessica Shelton was the special guest referee and called it right down the middle. So, with that being said, you gotta wonder if there might still be that level of, level of respect between Harley Quinn and Jessica Shelton. I mean, you go back to Paramount, it was Harley Quinn who requested Jessica Shelton as her opponent. Seemed to be some mutual respect there. It seems like maybe it's continued. If that's the case, do we see Harley Quinn and Jessica Shelton team up together here tonight to take Wonder Woman completely out of the picture and have it one-on-one between the two of them?
I think that's a very fair assumption. I mean, anything goes in a hardcore matchup, so you never know. These two could have had something up their sleeve planned before this match even got started. One thing we talked about, too, is that special guest referee matchup. Credit to Jess, because she called it right down the middle. She didn't have to do that. She could have let those two opponents go at it back and forth and really brutalize each other before this title match here tonight. She would have had a huge advantage going into it.
And introducing the champion from Valhalla, the Women's Hardcore Champion, Wonder Woman.
Well, it was 2 weeks after Paramount. It was at Paramount where Wonder Woman declared herself the #1 contender for the Hardcore Championship since she had not formally gotten a title rematch. Told Jessica Shelton, you can choose the stipulation. Just chose a steel cage match, and Wonder Woman stood victorious, joining Ariel and Elizabeth Swann as a two-time hardcore champion here in FWE.
Here we go, the Rotten to the Hardcore Championship on the line. This is going to be, I say this is going to be brutal. We just watched a backstage brawl. This is just going to be about basically the equivalent of that inside the ring. Anything goes in this matchup. The only rule, the pinfall or submission has to take place inside the ring, and the champion does not have to be involved in that decision.
And certainly not to take anything away from this matchup, but going back to your point there, do you think this finally closes the book on the Rockers versus the Family? Do you think we finally have put this to bed and both factions can go their own way here, or do you think that we're not done yet?
It's hard to say. I mean, considering the war has gone on for this long. There you go. You see the alliance temporarily there between Jessica and Harley, but I really feel like there's one more chapter to be had in that saga.
We have been very well versed in what goes on in triple threat matches, especially going back to 1 week ago where we saw 4 triple threat matches that eventually determined the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship on the men's side. We saw it successfully defended this evening by Carson Gum. This one could be lengthy. Head has to be on a swivel. Weaponry can come into play. Really comes down to endurance in these type of triple threat matches.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that it's a hardcore match too, so there were already no DQs or anything like that as it stands, but there could be a few more extra added weaponry added to a hardcore match. Look at Jess on the top rope.
Cross body on Harley Quinn, and then met with a steel chair by Wonder Woman. Oh, look! Oh, good
my
gosh!
we talk about it all the time, seeing those steel chairs used as projectiles. I don't think we should be surprised, but we definitely need to keep our heads on a swivel here at the announce table, too.
Well, not surprised in the fact that it happens, surprised when it happens. When I see a chair in the air with nothing else guiding it, I don't know.
Yeah.
My first instinct is to duck.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not headed in my direction. You will not see referee Ernest Wright administering any 10 count of any kind. No countouts, no disqualifications. He's basically just waiting for this action to come back into the ring to call a pinfall or a submission.
Two competitors in the ring right now. There's Jessica, the third one. Big elbow from Wonder Woman, rather, to Harley Quinn. Wonder Woman has both competitors down. One's outside the ring. Hoists Jessica up. Down she goes.
Right onto that Fallout logo there in the center of the map. You know, obviously, when you look at the power game, you have to give the advantage to Wonder Woman, but I'm not really certain, you know, who really has the advantage in this matchup, because Jessica Shelton has a victory over Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn has a victory over Jessica Shelton. Wonder Woman has a victory over Jess, and Harley has a victory over Wonder Woman. So everyone seems to have each other's numbers.
That makes this a very appropriate title match then, because of all the parity back and forth between them. Kendo stick, look out. Oh, didn't get a chance to use it, did Jess. She's able to quickly counter that attack.
Look.
Wonder Woman now.
Going for that octopus lock. Harley Quinn knows that very well. He's locked in it several times in their Gotham Rules match at Paramount. And a huge hit there by Harley Quinn. And there goes Jess to the outside. Cover.
Opportunity.
Harley Quinn to be a two-time hardcore champion. And Jessica Shelton, I'm not sure if she was going for Harley for the referee.
I don't know what she was thinking about doing there, but ultimately did manage to break up the pin in time. Jessica probably fired up. You saw how quickly she got back up to her feet after she was deposited outside the ring. Kendo stick from Harley Quinn.
Running bulldog there to Wonder Woman, and as you mentioned, there's the kendo stick, top of the head, midsection from Harley Quinn. Not afraid to bring weaponry into the matchup is Harley.
Yeah, made a quick recovery. Now has Harley stuck in that corner.
Another running bulldog. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, electric chair! And Jess's head may have bounced off that bottom rope as well. Potential whiplash on that fall.
It was a few inches more towards ringside, too. Her head would have hit the top of that LED apron. Look out!
Oh, gosh! Wonder Woman down after getting planted. Whoa! Jess was looking for the hip attack. Harley sidestepped it.
Wherewithal by Harley. Oh, but the elbow. Jessica been able to get in a lot of reversals, but now she's in trouble.
Snap suplex there in the corner. Wonder Woman back to her feet. Harley meets her with a side slam.
Great opportunity for Harley, because Wonder Woman just rolled to the outside of the ring. Oh, quickly back up to her feet, though.
Enziguri by Shelton drops Harley down. Oh, and now looking to lock in that octopus lock again. Wonder Woman gonna have to break this up. Doesn't want Harley to tap out, or else the championships would change hands.
Tried to use her leg to break that one up.
Look at
Here
that.
we go into the cover.
Says thanks for doing my dirty work, and then I think Jess went to break it up and hit Harley. Wonder Woman into the cover after the clothesline to retain the title, and Jess out at one.
Jess is up in all sorts of trouble. That gets dropped into the ring apron, or onto the floor of the ring, excuse me. A bunch of chops, though. Jessica, the quick recoveries in this matchup have been the name of the game so far. That's a very good thing to have in a triple threat match, is quick recovery.
Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's to the outside. Again, perfect opportunity if you're Harley Quinn.
Just driving her head into the ring mat. Now going to look for some added weaponry. Another kendo stick. Look out.
Oh, just gets mowed over by Wonder Woman.
Back outside we go again. No countouts. Ooh. I think it was really a spear, more like just a attack to the midsection that drove Wonder Woman to the floor.
Now all three women on the outside once again. Looking to dish out punishment here. Harley going to take the long way around there to get to Jessica Shelton. Could have been strategic there. A little bit of extra time to catch your breath.
Good thing to have in a triple threat hardcore match for sure. A little bit of time to catch your breath.
Elbow right to the point of the head by Harley Quinn. Side Russian leg sweep out onto the floor. Oh, and then Wonder Woman, what is she thinking here? Oh, gosh!
Oh, man, these are hard landings on that floor. He said it was some kind of a plastic covering over the concrete flooring that we have out here, so normally we've got that concrete under the carpet in the FWE Fantasy Dome, but landings like that one that you just saw are so brutal.
Dominator on the outside from Wonder Woman to Jessica Shelton, and Wonder Woman with a steel chair shot takes Harley Quinn down. Whoa, look out, fans.
Yeah, they signed up for this when they brought those front row tickets.
Didn't know we had to distribute helmets and face masks to the front row.
Again, Jessica dodged 2 drop kicks in quick succession.
And now working on the arm there. Look at that right arm back. Oh, currently right behind the back of Wonder Woman. Harley with the drop kick just to the outside. Another opportunity here for Harley Quinn to capitalize.
Harley's got to go fast. Jessica's done a great job in this matchup of the quick recoveries. She's been able to get back to her feet.
Oh, we saw her do this to Wonder Woman 1 week ago.
Oh, no.
Just rubbing it in the face, literally, of Wonder Woman here. And now clothesline to Jessica Shelton.
They're both focused on Wonder Woman, though.
Big knee to the champion. Remember, Wonder Woman does not have to be involved into the decision for the titles to change hands. And oh, Harley just trash-talking Wonder Woman there. You'd think she'd be going for a cover here, but she's not. Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
No sooner hits that move there, the side slam on Jessica Shelton gets hit with a dropkick. Harley to be the new hardcore champion and kicked out by Jess.
Wonder Woman was not getting up in time. Now she's lining up for something else. She's got to look out for Harley Quinn.
Big bulldog there. There's the spinning heel kick, just still on her feet. Harley up top, moonsault hits. That could be it. Cover in by Harley Quinn on Jessica Shelton. Wonder Woman nowhere to be found, and a kick out at 2.
How? I don't know how she still got back up to her feet in time. Again, just the quick recoveries from Jess, but at some point it's going to be too little too late. There's going to be a near fall that she doesn't get back up from.
Big elbow out of the corner by Wonder Woman. Oh, might be looking for that Amazon slam on Harley Quinn.
Connects.
Oh, just into the octopus lock. Harley Quinn is down. If Wonder Woman taps, that's it. And Wonder Woman's given up. Jessica Shelton is a 2-time Run to the Hardcore champion.
Here is your winner, and new Women's Hardcore Champion, Jessica Shelton.
Well, that has got to feel good if you're Jessica Shelton. Not only do you get the title back, but the woman that took it from you inside a steel cage was the one you made submit.
Fantastic showing from Jessica Shelton. I talked about the quick recoveries all match long, and it ended up paying off for her. But now, well, I'm not sure because we've had so many title changes here tonight. I'm not sure that bodes well for me, but I've got a little bit of justice to dish out here tonight against Dylan Young.
We'll let my broadcast colleague head backstage, prepare for his matchup here tonight. It's Extreme Rules. Dylan Young, Jack Mitchell. This rivalry has been going on for months. Tonight, it spearheads into a potential conclusion as Dylan Young looks to become a 4-time Tri-Wizard champion, and he takes on Jack Mitchell here tonight in our main event at Fallout.
The following contest is an Extreme Rules match and is for the Men's World Championship.
Well, Dylan Young has held the Tri-Wizard title 3 separate occasions. And we had story time with Jack back during that backstage brawl. I guess it's time for me to tell a little story as this goes all the way back to the Saturday night at Springfield PLE that concluded after Royal Brawl. Jack Mitchell had to put the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship on the line at Mortal Kombat inside Elimination Chamber to have a shot at Dylan Young, who then held the Tri-Wizard Championship. Mitchell would be victorious. We fast forward to Mortal Kombat. Mitchell would go in as a double champion, but Dylan Young would attack a good friend of mine, Jack Sparrow, backstage. He would insert himself inside that Elimination Chamber match, ensuring that Jack Mitchell would not leave that PLE still holding the Cruiserweight title. There have been numerous occasions during the last few months where Dylan Young has done post-match attacks on Jack Mitchell. Mitchell has tried to even the playing field, and finally, Mitchell had enough. He said to the FW Commissioner Woody, he said, "Give me Dylan Young at Extreme Rules." Woody said, "All right, you've got your match, but only if the Tri-Wizard Championship is up for grabs." That is where we are here tonight as we get ready for the fallout, pun intended, to this rivalry. Jack Mitchell, ever since winning the Tri-Wizard Championship, has defended it on numerous occasions, including at the Showcase of the Immortals, where he successfully was able to retain the title against the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble winner, Ernie the Keebler Elf. Coming into tonight, looking to continue his reign at the top of the food chain. It's Extreme Rules. There are no rules, no countouts, no disqualifications. This is not going to be a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a fight. So far this evening, we've seen only a handful of titles retained. We have seen a number of titles change hands. What will be the end result in this upcoming matchup between these two rivals? We'll now head down for the introductions for our main event. We turn it over now to our ring announcer, Mike Rome.
Introducing the challenger from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 220 pounds, Dylan Young! And his opponent from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, the Men's World Champion, Jack Mitchell!
Well, that Tri-Wizard Championship that Ernest Wright is hoisting currently above his head has only been held by 3 individuals here in FWE. Correction, 4 individuals. Dylan has held it 3 times. Shaggy has held it once. King Candy has held it once. And Jack Mitchell is the current title holder. Dylan is looking to continue to make history as a 4-time Tri-Wizard champion, but Jack Mitchell right out of the gate with the Superman punch. That's going to show you exactly what type of a tempo we're going to have in this matchup. It will be all gas, no break, no let up on the offense on either side. And Mitchell's going to waste no time. He's going to find himself some weaponry under the ring. Extreme Rules match. It's all perfectly legal. And he's going to wail away on Dylan Young. Shots to the head, shoulder. Immediately, Dylan Young busted open with the kendo stick shot. Mitchell with a nice move there. Up into the air, down into the Hurricane Rana. It's all a playground out there. It's all legal. Whatever you want to use is at your disposal, and Mitchell may use everything, including the kitchen sink if we've got one under the ring. You had to think if you were Dylan Young coming into this matchup that this was going to be expected. Jack Mitchell is ticked off. We have heard him on commentary voicing his displeasure. We saw him uncharacteristically run down to the ring at the end of a matchup between Young and Gilvin and fire a shot with the title belt across the forehead of Dylan Young. This has been a new Jack Mitchell in terms of attitude. He's still a fighting champion, but now he is willing to go to war to keep that belt around his waist as he continues to deliver the offense to the taller individual in Dylan Young. Looks like that laceration from the kendo stick shot might have been right in the middle of the forehead as Mitchell with a chair. Dylan Young reverses into a DDT out onto that flooring area. And now a drop kick to the lower back. Oh, and now Dylan's got himself a sledgehammer and he delivers it into the midsection and now to the back. Upper shoulder region it looked like. Mitchell with the reversal, got him up and down, delivers the knee right into the chin. Dylan Young back up. Oh, nice duck there by Mitchell. Ducks the clothesline, looked to bring out a trash can, but now electric chair. I think the lower back may have hit the tailbone, may have hit the steel chair on the way down. This is what it has all come to. We saw the fallout of the Rockers and the family backstage. It's the same kind of vibe here in this matchup with the Tri-Wizard title on the line. Mitchell, I thought he was going to get delivered into that garbage can, but instead, into the ring instead. Dylan Young now looking for the early cover on Mitchell to get the Tri-Wizard Championship back for a 4th time, and Mitchell with a kick out at 1. Knee delivered across the forehead by the challenger. You can see the blood trickling down Dylan Young's face. That will eventually get into the eyes, making it difficult to see. As now, we're gonna slug it out in the middle of the ring. Right hands, chops, overhand palm strikes. Anything to have a connection on the other side. Massive uppercut by Dylan Young. Mitchell's head bounced off that table there in the center of the ring as well, and still finds the fortitude to kick out at 1. Dylan Young now gonna look underneath the ring. What have we got now? Now we've got a ladder coming out here. What the heck is he planning on doing with that? Got it set up here at ringside as Mitchell goes for the roundhouse kick. Dylan Young able to sidestep it. Didn't miss that one though. Dylan's lights are out. But again, you got to get him inside the ring in order for the pinfall and submission to count. Bounces Dylan Young off that ladder. Dylan may regret his choices of bringing that ladder out from under the ring as he went skull first into the side. And now Mitchell maybe just taking time to catch his breath here. Dylan back to his feet, immediately dropped with the spinning heel kick. Dylan is down once again. Jack gonna deliver more punishment. Knee right to the forehead, right to that cut. And now ricochets Dylan's skull off the ring post. Dylan with the kickoff there. Right hand. Might have been a chop, I'm not sure. Now working on that arm, trying to put in an arm lock here on the outside. It wouldn't count towards a submission since it's not inside the ring. Palm strikes, kicks by Jack Mitchell. Midsection, chest section. Belly to belly from Dylan Young though. And look how the blood has now trickled down onto the chest region. The stomach region of Dylan Young. Every heartbeat that pumps is more and more blood that the challenger is losing. Fling blade! Fling blade by Mitchell to retain the title. Dylan Young's head may have bounced off the table, and Mitchell will retain here tonight at Fallout.
Here is your winner, and still Men's World Champion, Jack Mitchell.
Well, I'll be honest, for it being an Extreme Rules match, Jack looks relatively fresh compared to Dylan Young. What the heck? The heck is that? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Is it? Oh my gosh, it's the Money in the Bank briefcase holder! Hulk is here! He just clocked Jack Mitchell from behind! Is this happening now? He's just given the briefcase to the referee! Hulk is cashing in! The bell is sounded! We've got an official Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in! We haven't seen one of these since Elizabeth Swann cashed in back at Sugar Rush! But Hulk, a fresh Hulk, ready to prey on Mitchell, who just went through a war with Dylan Young! This is an official match for the Tri-Wizard Championship! Mitchell hoisted up into the air! Hulk with the bench press, and Mitchell crashes down! Is there any way Jack Mitchell has enough in the tank here to fend off a completely fresh Hulk, who was obviously lying in wait? Elbow delivered from the top. Here's the cover to become the new Tri-Wizard Champion. And oh my gosh, Mitchell kicked out at 2. He kicked out at 2. I thought that was gonna be it. Hulk can't believe it. Everyone here in this arena cannot believe it. There is still fight in the champion. Knee to the side of the head. Elbow delivered again. And now Hulk, his hands full of the champion, hoists him across the ring. I cannot believe what we're seeing here tonight. Hulk has cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Power slam to Mitchell, who now rolls to the outside. Hulk will meet him there. This is a normal matchup, ladies and gentlemen. The referee will begin a 10 count, so Mitchell does have the champion's advantage. The last time we saw a Money in the Bank briefcase cash in successfully, it was Elizabeth Swann, who became the new Women's World Champion. Hulk looking to get the Tri-Wizard Championship here. Kick out at 1 by Mitchell. Look at the disbelief on the face of Hulk. Mitchell was in a nearly 15-minute street fight with Dylan Young. Spear! Immediately back up to his feet though is Hulk. The go behind. Irish whipped off the ropes. Hulk. Big slam. Off the ropes looking for the splash. Does not go for the cover, however. Hulk has been holding this Money in the Bank briefcase for months, and now picks the time right here to cash it in. Dominator, center of the ring, Is this going to be it? Referee took a little bit of time getting over there to make sure the shoulders were down, but Hulk is the new Tri-Wizard champion.
Here is your winner and new Men's World Champion.
What a way to end 2025 here in FWE. Hulk cashes in, hoists the belt high. He's the new Tri-Wizard champion here in FWE. 2 for 2 in Money in the Bank cash-ins being successful. This is what just went down. The briefcase to the back of the head after Mitchell went through a war with Dylan Young. High offense moves eventually into the Dominator. And that's all it took for the 1, 2, 3. Hulk, for the first time in his career, is a singles champion in FWE. Hold on! Let's check this. Attacking Dylan Young! And look, he's calling down the steel cage that was used earlier on tonight in the Women's Cruiserweight match. Dylan Young has nowhere to go. Jack Sparrow, who was attacked backstage back at Mortal Kombat by Dylan Young, back to exact his pound of flesh. Oh, low blow! Low blow to Dylan Young! And Dylan, still busted open from his previous matchup, bounced off the steel cage, not once, but twice. This is what happens when you cross the crew. And Jack Sparrow gonna add a little insult to injury. How about a little 5-knuckle shuffle? This is gonna be a night we will never forget here in FWE. Hulk is the new champion. Jack Sparrow has returned. 2025 is about to be in the books. Thank you all for tuning in to FWE Fallout. We got a couple more episodes before we head into 2026. But what does next year have in store?